Let's get ready to rumble!
What's up, everybody? It's your boy, RunDownKeem, and welcome to another episode of Keepin It Real, where we get deep into the real-life struggles that we all face and how to overcome them. Today, we're diving into something that I know we all go through at some point: self-doubt. We've all been there, right? That moment when you start guessing whether you're good enough or if you can really do what you set out to do. Maybe you're wondering if you got what it takes, or you're just feeling like an imposter in your own life, chasers and chasettes. Well, this episode is for you if you've ever felt like that. Let's keep it real. Self-doubt can hold you back in a major way. It can stop you from going after your dreams, from pursuing that career you want, or even making moves in your everyday life. It can creep in when you're about to take a big step and suddenly you're second guessing everything. But here's the good news, chasers and chasettes. You're not alone. Everybody goes through it, and the most successful people you know dealt with self-doubt at some point in their journey. The key difference? They found a way to push through it, and so can you. In today's episode, we're going to break down what self-doubt really is, why we feel it, and most importantly, how to overcome it. We're going to talk about practical steps you can take to stop letting self-doubt hold you back and start building that belief in yourself. So sit tight, whether you're listening to this in your car, at the gym, or just chilling at home. This one's going to be packed with value. So let's jump straight into it. All right. So before we talk about how to overcome self-doubt, let's first get clear on what self-doubt actually is. You know that little voice in your head? The one that whispers you're not good enough or what if you fail? That's self-doubt. It's that nagging feeling that you don't have what it takes, that somehow you're not as capable or talented as other people. But here's the thing, self-doubt isn't reality. It's just a mental barrier we create for ourselves. And most of the time, it's not even based on facts. It's based on fucking fear. So, why does self-doubt even exist? It comes from a few different places. First, a lot of it has to do with how we're conditioned as we grow up. From a young age, we start to look for validation from other people, whether it's our parents, our teachers, or even our friends. When we don't get that validation, we start to question ourselves. Am I doing something wrong? Am I not good enough? And then there's society. We're constantly bombarded with images of other people's success, whether it's on social media, at work, or even just in everyday lives. And what do? We start comparing ourselves. We start thinking, why am I not where they are? What's wrong with me? But here's the truth, chasers and chasettes. Comparison is the thief of joy. Everyone's journey is different, and just because someone else seems to be ahead doesn't mean you're behind. But let's be real, it's not just about comparison. A lot of self-doubt comes from our fear of failure. We're so scared of messing up or being judged that we hold ourselves back. And that's where self-doubt thrives. It's that voice telling you it's safer to stay in your comfort zone. But staying in your comfort zone? That's not where growth happens, and it's not where success is found. We've got to learn how to push through that fear and take action anyway. That's how you overcome self-doubt. So now that we know what self-doubt is, let's talk about why we feel it in the first place. Why do we doubt ourselves even when we know deep down that we're capable of so much more? There's a few reasons why self-doubt creeps in. First, it's important to recognize that self-doubt is a natural part of being human. Everybody feels it at some point. It doesn't matter if you're just starting out on your journey or if you've already had a lot of success. Self-doubt does not discriminate. But one of the main reasons we feel self-doubt is because of the expectations we put on ourselves. We have these crazy high standards for what we should be achieving, and when we fall short of those expectations, we start questioning our abilities. Now, chasers and chasettes, I will give you a little background on this part here. That's very true. Myself included, I'm very, very, very hard on myself. I'm a perfectionist. I'm very critical of myself. Anytime I push out a YouTube video, anytime I stream, everything has to be perfect because I feel that if it's not perfect, then it won't be a success. It won't be great. So I oftentimes push myself to these crazy expectations. And when in reality, what I'm doing is enough, more than enough. It's just I have to stop and take that realization that, listen, my self-doubt is not my reality. Another big reason we feel self-doubt is because of how we've been conditioned to think. Growing up, most of us were taught to seek external validation. We look for approval from our parents, our teachers, our friends, and later on, our bosses, coworkers, or social media followers. And when we don't get that validation, self-doubt starts to set in. We start to question whether we're really good enough. But there's another factor that we need to talk about, and that's fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of being judged. Self-doubt is often just a mask for fear. It's easier to doubt ourselves than it is to face the possibility of failing or not living up to other people's expectations. But the truth is, the people who achieve the most in life aren't the ones who never feel self-doubt. They're the ones who feel the doubt and keep going anyway. The important thing is to understand that self-doubt doesn't have to be a permanent part of your life. You can train yourself to push past it, and we're going to talk about how to do that in the next segment. Now, let's get real for a second about how self-doubt can hold you back. Self-doubt isn't just an annoying thought that pops up every now and then. It can actually stop you from going after what you want in life. It can make you procrastinate on your goals because you don't believe you're capable of achieving them. It can keep you stuck in situations that don't serve you because you're too afraid to take a risk. And over time, self-doubt can erode your confidence and make you believe that you're not worthy of success. Let's break it down. Say you've got a dream or a goal you want to achieve, but you're doubting yourself. You start thinking, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? So what happens? You don't take action. You play it safe, you stay in your comfort zone. And the more you do that, the more your confidence takes a hit. Every time you don't take action because of self-doubt, you're reinforcing the belief that you're not capable. But here's the thing, self-doubt isn't real. It's just a thought, and thoughts can be changed. If you can learn to recognize when self-doubt is creeping in and stops it in its tracks, you can start to build confidence in yourself and go after what you really want. In the next segment, we're going to talk about how to make the mindset shift. Now that we've talked about how self-doubt holds you back, let's shift gears and talk about how to start believing in yourself. First things first, self-belief is a choice. Every single day, you have the choice to believe in yourself or doubt yourself. If you spent most of your life doubting yourself, that choice might not feel easy at first, but it's a habit you can build over time. And more you choose to believe in yourself, the easier it becomes. One of the best ways to start believing in yourself is to look at your track record. Think about the things you've already accomplished in your life. Maybe it's graduating from school, landing a job, or overcoming a personal challenge. Whatever it is, you've already proven that you're capable of achieving things. You've already shown that you have the skills and the drive to succeed. Now, you just have to remind yourself of that whenever self-doubt starts to creep in. Another powerful tool for building self-belief is positive self-talk. The way you talk to yourself matters more than you might think. If you're constantly telling yourself that you're not good enough or that you're going to fail, guess what? You're going to start believing it. But if you start talking to yourself with kindness and encouragement, then self-belief will grow. Instead of saying, I can't do this, say, I'm learning and I'm getting better every day. Instead of thinking, I'm not good enough, remind yourself, I have the skills and the potential to achieve this. And don't forget to celebrate your wins, no matter how small they might seem. Each time you take a step toward your goal, give yourself credit for it. That's how you build momentum, and that's how you start to believe in yourself more and more. All right, we've talked about what self-doubt is and why we feel it. Now let's get into some real actionable steps you can take to start overcoming it. The first step is awareness. You have to start recognizing when self-doubt is showing up in your life. What does it sound like? What does it feel like? Maybe it's that voice in your head telling you that you're not good enough, or maybe it's that feeling in your gut that makes you hesitate before taking action. Once you become aware of your self-doubt, you can start to challenge it. Here's a strategy you can use. The next time self-doubt shows up, ask yourself, is this thought helpful? Is it based on facts or fear? Most of the time, you'll find that your self-doubt is based on fear, not reality. And once you realize that and recognize that, you can choose to let it go, chasers and chasettes. Another powerful step is to take action even when you're feeling doubtful. Self-doubt thrives on inaction. The more you sit around and second guess yourself, the stronger your self-doubt becomes. But when you take action, even small steps, you start to build confidence. Each time you push through your self-doubt and take action, you're proving to yourself that you're capable. And finally, surround yourself with positive influences. The people you spend your time with have a huge impact on your mindset. If you're surrounded by people who doubt themselves or who don't believe in you, it's going to be hard to build self-confidence. But if you're around people who support you, encourage you, and believe in your potential, that belief will start to rub off on you. Let's talk more about building confidence through action. One of the biggest misconceptions about confidence is that it's something you either have or you don't. But the truth is, confidence is something you build over time through action. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The key to building confidence is to take consistent action, even when you're feeling uncertain. You don't have to wait until you feel 100% confident to start. In fact, you wait until you feel completely ready, you might never take the first step. The truth is, confidence comes from doing. It comes from putting yourself out there, trying new things, and learning from your experiences. Think about it like this. The first time you try something new, you might not feel confident at all. You might feel awkward, unsure, or even scared. But the more you do it, the more comfortable you become, and eventually, what felt scary once starts to feel natural. That's how you build confidence, by taking action, learning from your experiences, and getting better over time. So here's my challenge for you. Think about one area in your life where you've been holding back because of self-doubt. What's one action you can take today, no matter how small, to move forward in that area? It could be sending an email, making a phone call, or even just writing down a plan. Whatever it is, take that step, chasers and chasettes. The more action you take, the more confident you'll become. We've talked a lot about building confidence through action, but there's another piece of the puzzle that's just important: self-compassion. Let me keep it real for a second. We are often our own worst critics. We hold ourselves to these impossible standards, and when we fall short, we beat ourselves up. But here's the thing, being hard on yourself doesn't make you better. In fact, it usually just makes things worse. Self-compassion is about treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend. When you make a mistake or fall short of your goals, instead of criticizing yourself, try to be gentle with yourself. Recognize that everyone makes mistakes and that failure is a part of growth. Research shows that people who practice self-compassion are more resilient, more motivated, and more likely to take risks. Why? Because they're not constantly afraid of failing or beating themselves up if things don't go perfectly. When you're kind to yourself, you create a space for growth and learning. So the next time you catch yourself being overly critical, take a step back and ask yourself, would I talk to a friend this way? If the answer is no, then it's time to change the way you're talking to yourself. Replace that criticism with encouragement. Remind yourself that you're doing the best you can, and that is enough. Now, let's talk about some specific tools you can use to start building belief in yourself: affirmations and visualization. I know some of y'all might be thinking, Keem, isn't that just positive thinking stuff? But hear me out. There's real science behind this, chasers and chasettes. Affirmations and visualization can actually rewire your brain to start believing in yourself more. Affirmations are positive statements that you repeat to yourself to reinforce a belief. They're simple but powerful. The idea is that by repeating these affirmations consistently, you start to believe them on a deeper level. For example, if you struggle with self-doubt, you might start saying to yourself, I am capable of achieving my goals, or I believe in myself. At first, it might feel kind of weird or even like you don't believe it, but the more you repeat it, the more it becomes a part of your mindset. And visualization is another powerful tool. It's all about imagining yourself succeeding before it actually happens. Close your eyes and picture yourself achieving your goals. See it in as much detail as possible. How it feels, what you're doing, who's around you. When you visualize your success, you're training your brain to believe it's possible. And when you believe it's possible, you're more likely to take action toward it. The key with both affirmations and visualization is consistency. You've got to do it regularly, even when you feel like it's not working. Over time, you'll start to notice a shift in how you think about yourself and your abilities. Let's talk about failure for a minute. One of the biggest reasons people doubt themselves is because they're afraid of failing. They're afraid that if they try something and it doesn't work out, it'll mean they're not good enough. But here's the truth. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of success. Let me say that again, chasers and chasettes. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of success. When you reframe failure as a stepping stone instead of a setback, everything changes. Instead of seeing failure as something to avoid, you start to see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Every time you fail, you're getting one step closer to success. You're learning what works and what doesn't, and that knowledge is invaluable. Think about some of the most successful people in the world, whether it's athletes, entrepreneurs, or artists. Every single one of them has failed at some point. In fact, many of them failed over and over again before they finally succeeded. The difference is they didn't let failure stop them. They used it as fuel to keep going. So, the next time you're faced with a failure, instead of letting it knock you down, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience make you stronger, smarter, or better prepared for the next step? When you start to see failure as a stepping stone, self-doubt loses its power. Now, let's talk about your circle, the people you surround yourself with. One of the most powerful things you can do to overcome self-doubt is to surround yourself with positive, supportive people. Your environment plays a huge role in shaping your mindset, and if you're constantly around people who doubt themselves or who don't believe in you, that energy is going to rub off on you. On the flip side, when you're surrounded by people who believe in you, who encourage you, and who push you to be your best, that energy lifts you up. It helps you build confidence and start to believe in yourself. These are the people who remind you of your potential when you're feeling down and who celebrate your wins, no matter how big or small. So take a look at your circle. Are the people around you lifting you up, or are they bringing you the fuck down? If it's the latter, it might be time to make some changes. You don't have to cut people out of your life completely, but you can set boundaries and be intentional about who you spend your time with. And if you're struggling to find positive influences in your life, don't worry. You can find them in other ways. Read books by people who inspire you, listen to podcasts like this one, or join online communities of like-minded people who are in the same journey as you. Surround yourself with positive influences and watch your mindset start to shift. All right, so we've talked a lot about strategies for overcoming self-doubt, but there's one more important piece of the puzzle: celebrating your progress. When you're on a journey of personal growth, it's easy to get so focused on the end goal that you forget to acknowledge how far you've already come. But celebrating your progress, no matter how small, is crucial for building confidence and overcoming self-doubt. Think about it like this. Every time you make progress, even if it's just taking a small step forward, you're proving to yourself that you're capable. You're building momentum, and that momentum is what keeps you going, even when things get tough. So take the time to acknowledge your wins. Maybe you made it through a tough day, or you completed a project you've been putting off. Whatever it is, give yourself credit for it. Celebrating your progress isn't about being arrogant or complacent. It's about recognizing your growth and using it as fuel to keep going. When you celebrate your wins, you're reinforcing the belief that you can achieve your goals, and that belief is what will carry you through those tough times. So here's my challenge to you. Think about something you've accomplished recently, no matter how small, and take it to a moment to celebrate it. Write it down, tell a friend, or just give yourself a mental high five. You've earned it, Chaser and Chasette. Now let's keep it real. Setbacks are going to happen. No matter how much progress you make or how confident you become, there will be times when things don't go according to plan. Maybe you face a challenge that feels too big to overcome, or maybe you make a mistake that sets you back. When that happens, it's easy for self-doubt to creep back in. But here's the thing. Setbacks are a part of the journey. Nobody's path to success is a straight line. There are always going to be twists, turns, and bumps along the way. The key is how you respond to those setbacks. When you face a setback, instead of letting it derail you, use it as an opportunity to learn and grow. Ask yourself, what can I take away from this experience? How can I use this setback to become stronger or more resilient? And most importantly, don't let one setback define you. Just because you hit a bump in the road doesn't mean you're not capable of reaching your destination. Remember, chasers and chasettes, self-doubt loves to show up when things get tough, but you don't have to listen to it. You can choose to keep going even when things don't go as planned. Every setback is just another step to the road of success. Now, let's wrap up with one more powerful tool for overcoming self-doubt: gratitude. I know it might sound simple, but practicing gratitude can have a huge impact on your mindset and on your confidence. When you're feeling self-doubt, it's easy to focus on what's going wrong, what you're not doing, what you don't have, or what you're not good at. But when you shift your focus to what you're grateful for, it changes your perspective. Instead of focusing on what's missing, you start to appreciate what you already have, and that gratitude creates a positive mindset. Gratitude isn't about ignoring your challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about recognizing that even in the midst of challenges, there's always something to be grateful for. Maybe it's the support of your family, the progress you made, or even just the fact that you have another day to keep going. When you practice gratitude regularly, it shifts your focus away from self-doubt and toward abundance. It helps you realize that you have the resources and the support you need to succeed. And when you approach life with a mindset of gratitude, you'll find it easier to believe in yourself and your abilities. So here's my final challenge for you, chasers and chasettes. Start a gratitude practice. Every day, take a few minutes to write down 3 things you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be anything big, just something that made you smile, helped you grow, or made your day a little brighter. Over time, you'll start to notice how this simple practice shifts your mindset and helps you overcome self-doubt. All right, fam, we've covered a lot today. We've talked about what self-doubt is, why we feel it, and how it holds us back. We've also gone over some powerful strategies for overcoming self-doubt, building confidence, and believing in yourself. If there's one thing I want you to take away from this episode, it's that self-doubt doesn't have to control your life. You have the power to overcome it, to build confidence, and to go after your goals. It's not always going to be easy, but it's always, always, always going to be worth it. Remember, self-doubt is just a thought. It's not reality, and it's not who you are. You are capable of so much more than you give yourself credit for. And the more you start believing in yourself, the more you'll achieve. So take what you've learned today and start applying it to your life. Start challenging your self-doubt, taking action, and building that confidence muscle. And don't forget to celebrate your progress along the way. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode of Keepin' It Real. I hope you're feeling inspired to take on the challenges of overcoming self-doubt and building that rock-solid confidence we all deserve. Now, I'm excited to let you know our next episode where we'll dive into a topic that's crucial for personal growth and success: mastering time management, strategies for productivity and balance. As always, I love hearing from you. If you got any questions, thoughts, or feedbacks on this episode or upcoming ones, don't hesitate to reach out. You can contact me on social media. Hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at RunDownKeem, or shoot me an email at keepinitrealwrundown@gmail.com. I appreciate all of your support, and I cannot wait to see you in the next episode of Keepin' It Real. Until then, keep grinding, stay focused, and remember, it's all about making progress. Catch y'all next time. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will see y'all next Friday. Peace and love, bag chasers and chasettes. Peace.
Bye-bye.